Explainer: What is the Plague? By Cheng. Lexile level 830. One of nature's most deadly diseases is the plague. In the city of Yumen, China, a man died of the disease in 2014. The government there controlled it. They limited travelers in and out of the city. Reportedly, 151 people were moved to a safe building so as not to let the sickness spread. Plague has caused hundreds of millions of deaths in 3 major deadly events in history. It came to the United States on ships from China around 1900. In 2017, 3 people in New Mexico got the plague. It is possible to treat plague with antibiotics. Antibiotics kill bacteria and help sick people get well again. But bacteria are always changing in ways that make them stronger. Plague events continue to happen throughout the world. Pause here to annotate the text. Bacteria causes plague. New page. Plague is caused by a bacteria called Yersinia pestis. Bacteria are tiny living things. They live on land, in water, and inside our bodies. There are many different kinds of bacteria. Many animals, often rats, can get sick from the plague bacteria. Fleas carry this bacteria to humans. There are a number of different types of plague. Bubonic plague and pneumonic plague are the most important. Bubonic plague attacks the lymph nodes. Lymph nodes are parts of the body's immune system. The immune system is meant to protect our body against disease. Bacteria then spread to lymph nodes in other areas of the body, such as the arm or in the neck. These become swollen and painful. If untreated, disease spreads to the blood and other body parts. Pneumonic plague affects the lungs. It is more serious and moves faster. It leads to the buildup of fluid in the lungs, followed by bleeding. This is less common than the bubonic form, but it can be a huge problem. Saliva, or spit, can spread the disease to other people. Some cheap, easy-to-find antibiotics can fight plague, but they must be given quickly before the disease spreads. Today, most cases of plague happen in African countries, particularly Madagascar. Pause here to annotate the text. 3 major plague outbreaks. There have been 3 major plague events described throughout history. The most famous is the Black Death, which happened in the 1300s. The plague spreads quickly through crowded cities that are not clean enough. It gets carried by rats between different cities. It has been estimated that 1/3 to 1/2 of all people in affected regions died. Scientists have studied the people in regions that had the plague. Many people here now have different, stronger genes. A gene is a section of DNA that tells a specific part of the body how to grow and function. These stronger genes are now thought to protect against plague. The new genes are also thought to protect against HIV, which is the virus that causes AIDS, another deadly disease. Major plague events also had a large influence on religion and culture. There was a popular belief that the nursery rhyme, "Ring Around the Roses," was actually about plague. However, that myth probably is not true. Many writers in history have written about how people responded to plague. Pause here to annotate the text. Keeping people isolated. New page. The practice of quarantine was first used in the 1370s in the country Croatia. To quarantine means to isolate a person with a disease so it does not spread to others. There are plague education programs that teach people ways to improve cleanliness in cities. That way, they will not bring in sick rats and fleas who spread the disease. Scientists are also studying past examples of plague in humans to see how to stop it from spreading. A number of vaccines have been developed for plague, and they are widely available in most countries. However, there are concerns about how well they work. Pause here to annotate the text. People and animals living together. Plague is an example of how bacteria, animals, humans, and the environment interact together. Sometimes these interactions allow disease to happen. We might never see outbreaks like the Black Death again. Still, this should remind us that basic cleanliness practices are still needed in many parts of the world.